late?
Right on time.
Okay.
Heck, you're early. She's eating avocado. 2 minutes. Yeah. If there was time, you would be early.
Okay. Sit, just sit. Okay. Did this turn on? Or is there? God damn it.
Can put it in
Take out. It's in Tibet, the cushions that should have warmness means you should not go too far.
Don't let them cool down.
Yeah. They say your mind should be inside the body. Means don't send your mind outside, and then your mind that should have calm and peace. So these are related. Seems sitting is a good thing to practice.
So all we need is a warm cushion.
Yeah, I mean, not, that is not the goal, but that's what you should do.
The tumo to the cushion.
Yeah. And that's important, yeah?
Hot cushion?
You missed that part.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to repeat that? Did you hear?
Do you need a translation?
No.
I think they got it.
Well, we can't lead one person away from enlightenment. He needs to know.
Yes.
What was it, Lincoln?
Marnang to luyo basare. Ngatu desa yoro. Desa da nyarsa. Lut tena yo kres. Marnang to luyo basare.
Mar, Nanga,
Mal sena. Mal densero. Luyo ba.
Lu, Yuba, Lupo.
Lubote mark tol gogres.
Way more complicated than it is.
Lunon le sem yo basare. Sem to lubonon gogres. Is this too hard concept? It's not philosophy. It's
So,
And Simon Luyu was Gomes Jab go Lunachirons. Tene Dogsoko. Tene Sam the Rawan Top Gora. Tene Indu, Tene Lavia, Jerton Marla Tuyu, but Marno to Luyu was, and then the true my go race.
Drew Mashore.
True your song in Chiron Chilon draw. Do you ring tron it in a dank truth, yes, or Chiron did they were in a dank truth, did it. Teneta Marnan to Luyu was at the Lut Marnal de go racer. Lunon Samuel was. Samuel Luyu was.
So there is this saying of essentially you should sit your body down on the cushion. And
That's not. It's kind of general. Your body should be on the cushion. It's not. It's a little bit different.
your body should be on the cushion.
Yeah, means all the time.
And so this is related to, not letting the cushion get cold. If you let the cushion get cold, then you're not meditating. And so then, furthermore, so the body should be on the cushion, and then your mind should be, sitting, resting within the body, and then within your body, your mind should be resting, and it should be your mind, and then your mind within that should be resting. So it's kind of like the body's on the cushion, the mind is in the body, and then the mind is resting. So kind of, the mind is relaxed.
Loose, relaxed, open.
Loose.
Sometimes
Kind of.
in English use open. I think that works well. Contract is like your mind is.
Not too tight.
Yeah. Sometimes those scenes helps. Things remind us. That's why I'm trying to digging some my memories that may be related to our conversation. And I think now we
Open. Khenpo prayer.
Oh yes, okay.
Page 5. In the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, most excellent, I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings.
Sangye chodang soje chodang la jangjo pardu dane jasun je nare je so je be sunan ki drola benje sangye droba sho.
May all mother sentient beings, boundless of the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness which is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion.
Ma nangka danyam le sanjan tamje dewa dam dewe jodan tempar churje Dunga dan dunga ji ju dan trawa ju ji. Dunga me be be wa dan trawa ju ji. Niren cha dan yin dan trawa dan yong la ni ba ju ji. Okay, thank you so much for coming back. We just finished reading and went through a few lines on page 97. So now we can read page 99 in English. If you follow Tibetan, you can read page 98, but also maybe online provide with Tibetan fanatic and so forth. So these, page 97, the last paragraph goes over one line with next. So maybe we can start with page 97, last paragraph.
Oh, Injigela? Or
No, I'm kind of waiting people can project the Tibetan fanatic or not. Probably not. I don't know who's behind. Oh, here. Here. I don't know, somewhere. Na tso yoro to no vi chu na la gong tu she daran jo ji me to rong ba chu do zha wa lun ji chu ni nyam be ngon do ngong ge ne karma yoro to no vi nam ba la on bo me de me jong men go vi da la me sam shen la me to ba Chamjayam ba chimbong ge sho jaji bondo chudo chavis kunyang rong yung yishi gong ba la chenong huan min kanyam jebi nya desar chu tong chavi den zin chara shi ya me yo chunyi gong ba Chetong nong me song tsun zhu tang cha yor xie xian de xian bi sen me song wei chu me no chu nong yin chang ko ra jie wei yor me nam kan rang xie sen la nong te me to bi zin bi chu me zi bi kun to Kruvar jewe Khenpo zini ju te sen kan ra chen nong chwe chu kong yang me chu ku gong ba ra xin. English?
so then we'll do English.
Concerning the page 97.
So bottom of page 97, where it says concerning phenomena. Concerning phenomena that manifest as myriad sense objects without thinking in any way, this is how to rest. Rest spontaneously in the naturally settled state, free of proliferation and resolution of thoughts. Abide as a matter of course within the expanse of equalness, the true nature of phenomena, neither focusing your senses on, nor letting your gaze wander to, the manifestations of sensory appearances in all their variety, neither thinking of self nor conceiving of other, rest naturally lucid in the supremely spacious state of complete openness. Given the enlightened intent of naturally occurring timeless awareness in which everything is equal, expansive and elevated mind free of the proliferation and resolution of thoughts, the experience of blending with space without any division into outer and inner or in between arises as meditative absorption that is blissful, clear, and free of elaboration. Given the enlightened intent of the true nature of phenomena, which never strays from a state of rest, the ground of being, there is no division into outer and inner, for that nature is free of the elaborations of dualistic perception. There is no ordinary mind fixating on something other, a sense object, so nothing is reified as an object, and your perceptions of the universe are free of fixation. No context exists for taking rebirth in samsara. This is similar to space. There is no inner concept of mind as self, so nothing is reified as a subject, and the all-consuming thought patterns of conditioned existence are stilled. The potential for rebirth in samsara is cut through at the root. At that point, you have arrived at the enlightened intent of Dharmakaya, like space, in which there is no division into outer and inner, and no frame of reference for phenomena based on confusion.
On page 97, right before we start, the verse or paragraph on the last sentence say, understand it to be light and intent, which is another translation that we don't know what does that mean, but seems in the Tibetan it means realization. So we need to understand the realization of or is with everything at rest in the ground of being. Ground of being means primordial ground. That's just reality. So understanding is, we say earlier, it's a view. So once we understand that, then based on this realization or understanding, then we do meditate. And the meditation is, you can see here, this last paragraph that talks about on page 97. Not so yours no we chu namla. Kon to hidden jojim at opa rob run to travel into shop. Tuning yam belong longiness. Sem not so near said, I shop said, sem nyambar shop secret, nyam yak said, so gom said, like Tangila Vanohi, gom said, Tane. Sorry, I have. Do you have that? No. Candy can help. Maybe.
Anybody got a little cough drop? Candy?
Cough drop. Without sugar. No. And shock said, and Tangika, same said, the Banya Yoris, Shagya Yoris, Ndoya Dan, Yongya, that Tigi, Shawatas, Hibra, Tigi, then the Nyam Sharks and Yongazo, Gom, Sayanda, Dingenzin Sayanda, then the Samten said, then the Nyam Yak says, Nyambarsha said. Then it top said, that is what I'm a gomgi, caps, same gay, Nathan Higer.
So then, here we have at the bottom of this, it's or actually in the translation, it says abide on the top of 99. It says abide as a matter of course within the expanse of equalness, the true nature of phenomena. And this, includes the this term even. This maybe
maybe right before that.
Oh,
The last
Nyamshak.
last line of the page 70.
Or 96.
Yeah.
Oh,
97. 97. Rangbab Dhoda Travel Shocks.
Okay.
Shocks.
Oh, sure. Okay. So actually, here we go. The last line on page 97, it says, rest spontaneously in a naturally settled state, free of the proliferation and resolution of thoughts. And so this term rest, there's a variety of related terms in Tibetan. We hear nyam shak or nyam shok, which means to evenly rest or evenly abide. And earlier we talked about the mind being kind of sent out or resting inwardly, the mind coming or the mind going, free from all that. So in an even state without, the mind going out or resting inwardly, coming or going or anything, then we abide. And so then we have similar terms. Tibetan, there is gom, which means to meditate, tingesen, a state of meditative absorption. We talked about samten, could be concentration, dhyana. And then we have, various terms. We talk about nyam shak, like evenly resting. And then in Tibetan, we also have this term called jetop, which means post-attainment, which means basically meditating outside of formal meditation sessions. So in all these kind of,
disengage or not bothering at all.
And so, furthermore, we have what are known in Sanskrit as shamatha and vipassana, shinay and laktong in Tibetan, or we could say in English, calm abiding and special insight. In short, all these different terms refer to meditating with the mind, and there's many different stages of doing meditation. But in all these states of meditation, there is this resting. And when we are resting, we do not engage with various appearances and our experience, but we disengage the mind and let it rest.
On page 99, that is second paragraph. Karmal yortanong when ambala ombo me de meg jamingor with dala me samshala matova chamcher yamba chembung rangsar hyok. And dig up the hyok rest is okay. I think it really means let it be. You don't sort of engage or don't interfere with or engage any objects.
So then, continuing on in English on page 99, it says, neither focusing your senses on, nor letting your gaze wander to, the manifestations of sensory appearances in all their variety, neither thinking of self nor conceiving of other, rest naturally lucid in the supremely spacious state of complete openness. And so here, again, the key point is resting without, engaging in all of the various phenomena and so forth that could appear before us.
Tene da zobo zokchen chikchu gi kapsa chikchu gi nyamlen la gyokya namba hisengdo gyokya gyoger shakwasan settling dana James gi khashin yes that one. So here, in a commentary, it goes with these four settlings or settlement. But of course, our translators, English translations, these two books seems different, and you could read maybe their translation, just terms. These terms are important because it's called gyoksha in Tibetan. Gyoksha means almost like abruptly just settled. It's that don't engage at all. It's just you don't need to analyze because some Madhyamikas and other traditions we have analyzing things, so it's not like that. But you could read these English different translations, maybe what they say.
So in the Dzogchen, the great perfection tradition of Trekshu, which we can say is cutting through, there are these four famous, we can call them ways of resting. And it's called Chokshak, Choge Shakpa in Tibetan. And there isn't like a perfect term in English that really captures the meaning, but personally, Eric would use maybe like freely resting, where you let everything like abruptly just rest.
It's not resting, I think.
Or just.
Can mountain be rest?
Or
it's also related to the metaphor or the simile, that too. Here's our new translation say placement. I don't think we can place ocean and a mountain and these things. So I'm not criticizing. I'm just saying if that's their imagery of Dzogchen Trikyu practice, then it would be interesting. Yeah.
Maybe we could also say letting be, like the Beatles song.
Okay.
I don't know. Leaving everything as it is. Leave the ocean as it is. Leave the mountain as it is.
Oh yeah, maybe, yeah.
So, in Richard.
But internally, some is to do with something. I think the engaging meditation conduct, traditionally these are related to it. The mountain relates to view, ocean relates to meditation, and this appearance relates to conduct, and the rigpa or awareness is related to the jivu, because we need sort of undestructible, immovable view like a mountain. And we need a meditation that stable and also yet our reflections maybe reflect on the surface of ocean, that is never have any attachment to that. Or ocean is the surface level, is there's the wave and the turbulence, but if you go deeper, there's no kind of disturbances. So when we meditate, whatever appears to us, that should not bother us, and also our mind should not disrupt by that, and so forth. So these are related, but here it's a little bit different. It's a little bit complicated, so that's why I don't want to go through too much. But either way, you can read that there in English, and then whatever you want to say, and then your version can also provide there, and then people can decide they want to move mountains or just resting mountains, so it doesn't really matter.
So I'll just read these two versions of translations and then maybe kind of give some explanation. And I think Khenpo just used a little Tibetan in there too, so I'll maybe just rephrase what he said. So in our current translation, from now on, it'll be known as Richard Barron's Blue Book translation. He has resting imperturbably like a mountain. And in the Light of Bharotsana, the recent translation that just came out, the Jewel Treasure of the Dharmadhatu version, it says placement like a mountain. And then Richard Barron has resting imperturbably like an ocean, and the Light of Bharotsana has placement like an ocean, and Richard Barron has resting in the immediate perception of sensory appearances, and the Light of Bharotsana has direct placement with appearances, and then the Richard Barron has resting imperturbably in awareness, and the Light of Bharotsana has placement in pristine awareness. And so here, kind of building a little bit on what Khenpo was saying, there are 4 different ways that we let the mind rest, or we let it be. And so in Tibetan, if people want to take notes or just know this really clearly, the first one is called Riwo Chokshak, which we could say is, leaving the mountain.
Again, the shak here. Shak and shok, nyam shak here. The same verb. Almost letting it be.
So kind of like letting, we can say, letting the mountain, be like a mountain, letting it be. So letting the mountain remain as it is. Yeah, that's good. Let the mountain remain as it is.
Remain like a mountain could be. You can use like simile.
Remain like a mountain is.
Your view, yeah.
Yeah. And so remaining like a mountain is related to the view of Dzogchen. And we want our view to be unshakable, unmovable, just like a mountain. A mountain doesn't move, it's unshakable. So we want our view to be that way. And then the second in Tibetan is called Gyamso Chokshak. And this is letting our meditation be like an ocean, letting our meditation remain like an ocean. And so an ocean is this metaphor for our meditation. The ocean itself, when our meditation is an ocean, even though the waves of thoughts come, they just fall back into the ocean. So even though we have thoughts in our mind, when we meditate, remaining like an ocean, then, you know, our meditation is deeper than just these temporary thoughts. And then the third is called, in Tibetan, it is Nangwa Chokshak, which means letting appearances remain
As it is.
as they are.
Yeah.
And so this is related to the conduct. So we had the view, the meditation, now this is the conduct. And so the conduct is to not engage in various appearances and experiences, but just let them remain as they are. And then the fourth is called, in Tibetan, Rikpa Chokshak, which is letting awareness, Rikpa, this self-cognizing awareness, this inherent cognizing awareness, this knowing awareness, letting it remain, letting awareness remain as it is. And this is related to the fruition of Dzogchen practice.
단들나 특추 냠는 책이 있어야 돼. 특추 써야 돼. 따와 곰바 줘봐. 리우 용도지고네. 다 특길 추고 특길 추잖아. 다 샘 트와 추고 거로. 샘 셴바들 짐바도스 추고 거로. 어디 인도 다트서 담지고네 추고 거래. 대 테나텐데 zon도 테네 단데나 나초진 통용배 값서 왕보세나 자 메이크 왕보세 소드 드세나 다 판통미니 산에 초지 카논즈록 양다고 타 요나 테네 메이크 체비 값서 메이크론 Mingulva, sekwade. Dinando. Deltari. Tika puyi tiana. Wangbo met de megjong Mongolas. Tala me samkjela me tobars. Rangla tor de ngandana yo samyanda. Chudana do parsen. Tenre meva. Dorna kom jabdu. Chamchar yongba chemborong sar hyosta. Ti ngala ji chu meva. 맥정다 맹골바 파르메타 촐메타 네트네 다 되고 그래서
So in short, in the Dzogchen tradition, we have what is called trekshu. So trekshu, we can translate it as cutting through. But what does this really mean? So there is the view, the meditation, the conduct, and the fruition of trekshu. And trekshu, when we cut through, it's this, the Tibetan has this, the longer version of the term is trege chu, which means to kind of like cut all the way through. And so what are we cutting through? What are we cutting all the way through? We're cutting through our clinging, our attachment, you know, our confusion. So we're cutting through, all the way through this self-grasping, our delusion. And so then if we go back then to on page 99, it says, neither focusing your senses on, at the top, nor letting your gaze wander to, the manifestations of sensory appearances in all their variety. So this is kind of interesting. Maybe here the Tibetan has a little bit kind of more. What it says in Tibetan is Wangbo midu mikyang migope. So Khenpo is saying, basically, do not gather things through your senses, and also do not let the eyes move. So normally what happens when we engage with our senses, we look outside of our eyes and we look out, and then we kind of take in what we see, and then we think about it and so forth. So here in this Dzogchen practice, we don't do that. We don't engage with outer phenomena and so forth. And likewise, doing this, we don't need to move our eyes. This is an important part of this practice. And so then, neither thinking of self nor conceiving of other rests naturally, lucid in the supremely spacious state of complete openness.
Okay, maybe now we know how to meditate, so we rest a little bit maybe. As long as you can, I think it's good to sit upward and straight your big bone, water break, what they call this one?
Vertebrae.
And then I said, if you are comfortable with open eye, please do it. Sooner or later, we need to dealing with this beautiful samsara anyway. And don't even move your eyeballs, yeah? Well, that's what it says. The English, of course, they don't want to go too physical, so they make this. Letting your gazing wander, nor letting your gaze wander into. So it seems Shakespeare's, so that's good.
Ani dike kapla mig tekar.
What do you think? I have another teacher.
Okay, 그럼
You haven't heard of my teaching, yeah?
손으로나.
No, I'm curious. I said many times already, so most of people already know, I think. So here it's sort of contradict what I was saying. It's not really contradiction. I need to clarify here. Maybe people already notice. So you not draw in your sense faculties in, yeah, you are not bringing in, but your eyeballs are also not move around to seeing. But however, my teacher and what I learned is we need to look at our back of our head. Can you do that? Most of the time, people don't want to get that, and they say that's some trick or Chinese koan. So, not really. It's literal meaning here. I'm not joking.
Right. So Khenpo is saying the way to look that his teacher taught is to look at the back of the head. Look at the back of your own head.
As soon as you look at it stops thinking. An open eye, the Lincoln also mentioned that always open eye. You can see famous meditators' eyes and mouths. You can see soon as I see people, they call Dzogchen master with closed mouths, and I have a little bit of doubt.
Do you want to explain a little?
It's naturally you opens. Its mouth is one of them.
So, for context, in Dzogchen, the mouth is like just naturally open.
Its air flows much better than when closed. The lips, then the nostrils are much more restricted air passage, so then your breath is not become unnatural. Yeah? So just look here.
Take our mar, kashe mar.
No, the eyeballs looking here.
So then the eyeballs are directly even, not down, not up, but even with the back of your head.
If you look at your back of head, it's naturally calm. Then you don't need to caution whether I look up or down, or that will solve the problem. If you look at your back of your head. This may not last very long. Yeah, we need to repeat again and again, looking back at our back of our head repeatedly. This should stop all the thinkings, thoughts, and concept, and anything that if this method is work for you, maybe it's good that you can keep doing it. If it doesn't work for you, then maybe try another way. But for me, this is maybe the best method to practice Tikchu. And that's what here. So now we know we can, while meditating, we can open our eyes. We slowly adopt that we don't need to worry about what around us and so forth. It's become more comfortable when you meditate more on the open eye. And of course, if you need to close your eyes to meditate, then do it. But then it's a little bit difficult. It's more difficult to looking at here to stop thoughts. Yeah. Everyone maybe feels in that way. That's good. And now.
Khenpo, is it okay to take some questions?
Okay.
Yeah, there's a few online. There's a
Okay.
couple related to the practice, but then there's a couple related to the previous discussion.
Okay.
So the first one is from Sandra Kipper, and she's asking, how can one have direct placement with appearances and not engage in conceptualization? What is the distinction?
Yeah. It the translation is not a. I don't know that does English. What say in English? What does placement mean?
Placement's an action. I mean, you're placing something on something.
Mm-hmm. Or move somewhere.
Placing a cup on a desk, or your mind on an object, something like that. Making contact.
So maybe that's another problem in English language. Here in the Tibetan non-duality, it's related to the conduct. What yogi's conduct should be like in the Tibetan sometimes say, like dogs and pigs, happy in a mat and dying on the street is the best dying kind of thing. So nawa here means appearance. Whatever appearance or whatever occurred, go along with that. It's not, you are not fabricating, or you don't need to change things to be a yogi's conduct. And since what the question is, maybe the English translation, and also seems take appearances as something that we need to deal with. So these here means appearances is using as almost like guidance. It's almost like go with flow. You don't need to change the appearances.
Yeah, like the connotation that Khenpo was talking about is like letting appearances be, letting your experience of all phenomena, letting it be as it is without engaging in it.
That's conduct, yeah. Conduct means including while standing up, sitting, and doing things, and gora, prostration, and all or any conduct, interact with others, is it's not a meditation. So once we kind of post-meditation, we need to act. But acting is not restricted by certain experience or certain appearances or certain objects, but we need to seamlessly kind of need to go through. It's not actual view, but it's saying how we should act, not how we meditate. Yeah.
Good, thank you. I'm not sure. Maybe this question was already answered. You can decide on that one. But this is from Yvonne, and she says, "What is the difference between the four modes of resting? But it sounds like you already answered that question, but this was her question a little while ago.
Yeah, this foremost of resting is what we go through our translation used is resting. What? Okay, I think now seems page 99 is good. As also let me know any passage that you want to me to clarify. Seems looks simple and it's saying do not engage any subject-object duality things while meditating. And now we are on page 101, is that one? Mm-hmm. Okay. Tibetan. Somehow Tibetan has not show in here, but can you move next page or the first? I think next one. Another one maybe. Okay, yeah. It's second line, yeah, Tibetan. Sebe sarton rodon me be tam jelon nyam kudro sombo shin choku pop ron chodo chimbai tatere ba shile mayuna tani kumchi chimeze badon Yansilen bele dan hajara jundilan kurndi nyingbor Siyir menene yanchom nyingbor chindir yanshi ne zeji cheba Neran yizo ba chenbu gombai Ngole yo na yiyun kurwa ni deli junri nina lamado Nirviche wo ne wo den Denan cho son zoba chenpo ne yin ne ma yo zarnan shalan Gomba me yo nyambra ne bai Te yin an le jindri sha zoro me tawa gom de me bala sod Tawini me gobe zor jo je shen dong le chen char zarni Rurvana zo nonsi gunja bi junri meji namyon majuji. Junri meji namyon majuji. Okay, maybe 101 to the first few lines of 103. Yeah.
So, top of 101. You have touched on the point of resolution, and since there is no coming or going, everything is an infinite expanse, the pure realm of Samantabhadra. You have reached the sublime palace of the Dharmakaya. If awareness in the moment does not stray from the ground of being, familiarization with that experience negates any furthering of conditioned existence. You are free of the karma and habitual patterns that perpetuate rebirth. You have come to the decisive experience of causality, described as the equalness of samsara and nirvana. You have arrived at the heart essence of enlightenment, which does not abide in conditioned existence or the state of peace. It is crucial that you distinguish between this and a one-pointed state of calm abiding. This is the enlightened intent of the great perfection. If you stray from your fundamental nature, the functioning of the conceptual mind is samsara, pure and simple. It involves cause and effect. You have not come to the decisive experience. A person who makes this mistake falls lower and lower. Therefore, the sublime secret, great perfection, does not stray from basic space, and the expressions of dynamic energy resolve within the ground of being. Enlightened intent abides as an unwavering state of equalness. Within this context, there is no cause and effect, no concerted effort. View, for example, cannot be cultivated in meditation, although the mode of cessation is described as having neither center nor limit. When dynamic energy itself deviates from this natural state, the myriad display arises as the multiplicity of the universe of appearances and possibilities. So never say categorically, there is no cause and effect.
Mm-hmm. I think we should focus on the second paragraph. Second paragraphs give us more details on this Dzogchen meditation. 근데 다티 르바 힐리 마유나스 요 지금 요. 오케이. 다티 르바스가 저 담mar지 시에 봐서 자저 전부 값이나 담mar지 시에 봐서도 아니 Dzogchen 값서 다티 르바스. 단도나 다티 르바스는 서버지 이시세잖아. 니 Dzogchen 값 시에도 다 못서 같이 최와당 단돈 전에 제니 르바다 이시기 제발 가리었어요. 근데 정말 마음 천년다. 당연히 남주 이시에서야 더 실라 그 랑신의 유비 산직 이시들라. 그 르바스도 당아서 랑소서 소수지 우줄라 유비 다 르바탈라고. 근데 가서 링어 따생도 더 시페기 뭐 정선 르비 뭐 따생 마도 이시지 뭐 따생도 대인도 단다 르바 세야든 가서 소수지고 세난다 로노 소수 줄이요비 다다 세드네 두 다다 단다랑 세거로 대단 저와 요비 단도나 르바테 실레 마요나스도 다 신도메게 내룩 텔리 현도 조르마송바 텔리 현도 조르송와이나 카트 치르티기 시바스도 시바데 카첼르데 이제네 근데 송완단 짐바닌라 현 송진이 시험비 제바차용 거인도 다테르바데 헬마유 송진이지 왕게 카치르티도 쇼르마송 나세거 드니 검치 치메지 바톤세도 다 텔라다네 곰세나 곰잡네 곰유릉 바자바이나 또 곰차요 곰바티 차요 거로 보케를 갈세거서나 곰바마인생도 곰바인스 곰발롱도 주나 곰바인선 곰세야도 우측야 쪼르와체 대체대 곰도 말이스 곰세야도 곰고 그래서 곰네 곰나 라버면 요비 추트 칸이 요마이스 곰소나 레라오 마차비 되는 거보 추 제기요 말해서 거 같은데 그래서 개체벌 제 곰송아이나 되는 마음방에서 양시 랭야세 치매 양시 세안도 당 제와치마 랭야세 되게 시코노 땅도 그래서 땅스는 매바차네 되는 도나 제와치마 램거 봐 코르발 제와치마 램거 봐 잘 그래서
So then here we're talking about what's translated here as, if awareness in the moment does not stray from the ground of being, familiarization with that experience negates any furthering of conditioned existence. So here what's translated as awareness in the moment. So we could also, in Tibetan, it is Tande Rikpa. So in the Mahamudra tradition, there is what is called, in Tibetan, it is called the Tamal Kishepa, Tamal Kishepa. And that can be translated as just simply ordinary consciousness or ordinary awareness. And this is a synonym in the Dzogchen tradition for here what is called Tande Rikpa, which means we could say immediate or present awareness. And so here this term Rikpa, which we can translate as awareness, is very similar to another term in Tibetan that is called Yeshi, which we can translate as primordial wisdom. And so Khenpo gets asked a lot of times, what is the difference between, in the Dzogchen, tradition, Rikpa, awareness, and Yeshi, primordial wisdom. And so Khenpo's understanding is that the word Yeshi, primordial wisdom, refers to what exists kind of primordially within the ground of all reality. And Rikpa, this Dzogchen awareness, is what we individually, can have as individuals in this universe, this awareness of the nature of the mind. And so in the instructions, there is this phrase, Rikpe ngo lata. So look into the essence of your awareness. And so this is like, for individuals, look into the essence of your awareness. It's not, but the word Yeshi ki ngo lata, look into the essence of primordial wisdom, you don't see that phrase. This is because primordial wisdom is this more like inherent thing that you can abide within primordial wisdom that is already there, versus awareness is something that, on the path we cultivate our own awareness of the nature of the mind. And so, furthermore, here in the Tibetan it says, Tanda, or we're actually translating this in English. So in the immediate awareness,
Current maybe. Current is better maybe.
Oh, maybe present awareness?
Yeah, present.
Okay. The present awareness, do not move from the ground. When you do not move from the ground with present awareness, then through being familiar, becoming familiar with that, then future births, future existence in, future lifetimes, that becomes empty. Basically meaning that when you become familiar with abiding without, with present awareness, not moving from the ground, then it is not possible to take rebirth in samsara, because you have become familiar with that and you will be liberated. And so this term familiarization is interesting. In Tibetan, it is very similar to the word for meditation. So Gompa is familiarization and Gompa is meditation. And so there's this famous saying, sometimes attributed to Gampopa, who said, it is not Gompa Mayin, it is not meditation, it is Kompa Yin, it is familiarization. And so we might think that in our practice, okay, now I'm going to meditate, and we force ourselves to meditate. We put a lot of effort into it, and we meditate our way to enlightenment. It doesn't work that way. What works is through familiarizing ourselves again and again with the nature of the mind. Then it is natural and effortless. It is something that we are deeply familiar with, where we don't have to contrive anything. So, this is ultimately how we're supposed to meditate.
Yes, yes.
Wonderful stuff, by the way. So as we're familiarizing ourselves, the recognition, familiarization, integration stage, right? So as we're probably all somewhere in the familiarization stage, my understanding, so for clarification purposes, Rigpa is my own awareness of the primordial state that exists inherently. Am I getting that right?
Yeah.
So I always thought Rigpa was that state, but you're saying that the state exists, right? And we tap into it through the practice, right? And when we tap into that awareness and we become familiar, it's what you were just saying, which is amazing, right? So the actual Rigpa isn't the state, it's our awareness of the state and our presence in the state?
Yes, we cannot really separate the primordial awareness from our individual awareness. Yeah, but the Tibetan term Yeshi, Ye denotes primordial. And here is cognizing or knowing, or people translate the primordial knowing or primordial wisdom or primordial, whatever we translate, it carries with primordial. So which means primordial means something, if we put a time frame, it's occur at the beginning, yeah? And the Rigpa doesn't have that kind of restriction. However, here is used a present moment Rigpa. So that's which means we are access to or we can utilize it. And then Rig itself in the Tibetan means aware. So if our awareness, how to say, our mind, if it doesn't have any aspect of awareness or cognizing aspect, then we are just blank. We would not have any way to recognize or familiarize or anything. But at least our mind or this awareness has this ability to cognize things that sometimes we use as Rigpa Jemba or Rigpa Nongartan Demba. Nongartan Demba, sharp awareness, which means also cognizing very kind of precisely. And using the current or present or the moment, it shows that we have access that is being with us. And the Rigpa itself is used as, if we even could use just Rig. Rig means to aware. So that's why the Rigpa we can utilize and we can recognize it, or it recognize itself kind of thing. That's just individuals has that ability and quality. But Yeshi is more primordial knowing that is less access to and less. But I'm not saying it's distant, but here it's saying our present awareness, access to the primordial knowing, rest in there, then everything's done. We don't have to worry about anything. Yeah. Okay. 말해. 보게 된 지조다. 보게 된 지조기네.
Yeah. Tutsuyuna? Tutsuyuna?
I asked him to translate into Tibetan.
But we don't want to waste too much
Yeah,
time.
he say when there's time. Yeah. Yeah, we don't have much time. That's why I forget to speak in English. Doesn't matter. Anyway, here, at this point, now we are. Then Rigvata, he senanda, he Gavgan. The Rigvata, he Mayuna. Then that's a legend say at Tsengach say at this is Tommy dictate say at that. So Tane, then Jawachima say at Lembkova Chagores. Karesena, Yansi Lembe Ledan Pakcha Char said, Ledan Pakcha Nila Danchini. Tene Yansi Jawachima said the Langore, Carsona, the Charles on her was. Bukit and Dua. And Junde Lado, Sada Lado said the young Hienda, the Zokchang sick Madavachi. Renoa Tindu Lado said, talk chu segur, Yeton, Chena, and talk Jebal Kogdo Lada said, talk Jebal Kogres. Ta ina dana junre la do sa da junre linde soma ina se usare junre linde to ba ina se usare tenin korwa da nyang linde ba nim pata jigwares nyam bar chu thogres.
So just working from the Tibetan, then if, when we are able to abide in the primordial wisdom of the ground, then relative cause and their ripening into effects, our negative deeds, obscurations don't exist when we abide in the primordial wisdom of the ground. And so within that state, then we are free from the karma and the habitual patterns that would lead to taking a future rebirth. And so then it is said that we reach this state that goes beyond, passes beyond cause and effect. There's this term ladu, which is this kind of special term in Dzogchen, and here it has a connotation of passing beyond, but it also can mean like having a decisive realization, reaching a final decision. But here it means passing beyond cause and effect, and so thus when we pass beyond cause and effect, then we reach the equalness of samsara and nirvana.
Ta tigap so mene se and kojur kansna mene sen ziba siyer mene sen aso ndoi kap so kap ga korwala magane korwa pangne tin ziba nyangalen debi hiwa nyangalen deba sayate top tela ne sedu tin nga so nyen tu da rangjar ke tra jumbe kombotomna hiwa nyangalen deba la ne sen tintanyi ti jargo yorwa. Ta ne se zi her mene sen di kapso tanda sanji ji kompon sayate ziban kamson korwala le ta nyomo be wange ne yo marela hiwa nyangalen deba layon tenen gobal hyogne simjenge tommen zeba tawer tel ne deba maim tu tenen nyingji go wange chor simjenge chi ta jewa she troba tenen dönyang korwa tendu sibati hewa nyingala menebi hyangchop ki nyingbote di kapso ndala teni top gore so.
So then, with this, then we have reached the essence of enlightenment not abiding in existence or peace. And so in the tradition of the sutras, we are taught that we don't want to abide in samsara, and we want to get out of cyclic existence. And then we do want to attain nirvana, the state beyond suffering. And it is said that the goal of the hearers and the solitary realizers, the Shravakas and so forth, they want to reach this state of nirvana, abide in the state of peace. But here, not abiding in either existence or peace, we reach the essence of enlightenment. And so in this state, when we realize, the ultimate nature of, how things are, beyond even the dualistic concept of, samsara and nirvana, then from that perspective, we can, want to benefit beings and, so forth, and take future rebirths. But in this state, going beyond samsara or, existence or peace, then we reach the essence of enlightenment.
Tan di gabso nga so hines atawar shamata tene gom jabya the hine tse na aso ta semchen to ying ma song ba jigla mi ba jigla de ne gom ya tse jikwa se ko yina tan di gabso gom jabya gabso hine tse jikwa la hor ma song ya de ke chambor hine tse jikwa te gom yong ta ba mares ta tela hor ma song ba de 케체모레 치바치스 드네 테니카서 거스 단데게 나저 링올라 따네 르빙올라 따네 검자자 축축게 따와 대당 신의 제기고 거네 검자가 되니 카하르스 또 신의 거니까 신의 띵보체생도 띵보체선 할 거에 kind of
Tingbo, deep?
deep shamatha meditation. That's a sinking kind of feeling that has no kind of sharpness, vividness, or vibrant. That's called Hine Tingboche. It's another Korsa, Korsa?
Mm-hmm.
And here is Hine Tsechikwa, it's Korsa. And so we need to sort of get out from this deep sinking, one-pointed shamatha meditation.
Mm-hmm.
And kamka hine dindawuta hine tela longma dancing the long to matempa. Indeterminate hine. So te indu nge te labgo mare hine saya te shamatha saya te gom jab te gomna yago mare sego mare te ina ndi kapso zok chengi chuk ringo chongwe kapso ane te dawi kita hine la shorma songa te kechen bore so te indu nde rangi zokwa chenbo gomba yin so ta nde jikpur te ane zokwa chenbo gomba ngoma te ta ringo chongya hine la shorma songa te zechil shorma songa te res.
Ani ngun is saupo lapna dene kap shentra la samson la trekshu shine ani tuga flakton sergiori.
Re.
Dunde son kap la des trawaki yewo yore.
Yeah.
So then here, it says in the text further, it is crucial that you distinguish between this and a one-pointed state of calm abiding. And so, essentially, when we talk about, calm abiding, shamatha, this refers to a state where the mind does not, travel to other things. The mind focuses one-pointedly on the object of meditation, whatever that is. And so when we meditate, We want our mind to abide calmly, not wandering around to different things. However, in this context, in authentic meditation, we want to go beyond just one-pointed abiding, where our mind is just in a state of one-pointed abiding, to not just be in a state of concentration, but to really abide, looking at the essence of awareness. And so there's this subtle difference. And so in the Dzogchen tradition, it is said to be a fault to fall into very deep, calm abiding. So we can just kind of get lost in like deep concentration. Also, sometimes it is, this fault is connected with a sort of indifferent state where our minds become neutral to things. And so we don't, have, this kind of lucid, clarity of the mind. And so we don't want to just fall into this kind of overwhelming, deep, abiding. But it says here, this is the enlightened intent of the natural great perfection. So, going beyond just, relative, one-pointed, calm abiding concentration. We want to abide within the, true realization of the great, the natural great perfection. So, and just as another clarification, in other contexts in Dzogchen, sometimes calm abiding is trekshu, cutting through, and vipassana, or special insight, is tugal, or direct crossing. But here, this calm abiding is talked about as kind of a fault.
Right. Kirtan gom japsi tamsi de yana trekyu yana shine yana langtong tinal dunan ndryor de adutobri. Zarchadan necha nil den zarcha necha tel shine chi zarcha tel langtong chi ten jirem kumnare zokrem kumnare somal te jarya yores. Ina tandan di kapso tene dzogchen chik songpa nangyi shene dal hangtong kada chikyu togar nil shene hangtong jar nan riyo tandona di kapso semtse jik nebegi dona longma tenji sem te cha songwa ina tene nga so jerse langla nanglo songpa nangyi sungmi shigi Sam Tower. The near somewhere in some 10 tower near somewhere in a te Loma den Chakarawa. What they do, there's okay, Chimores. Sumishali, Yandan, they buy something come by Jersey Langlines. 탁실에 진로그래 버젓이다.
So, generally, when we talk about calm abiding and special insight, shamatha and vipassana, together, this is the whole path. So in Buddhism, the abiding quality is, calm abiding, and the, luminous clarity quality is this special insight. Sometimes the abiding quality is related, kind of connected with the generation stage, where we generate ourselves in all appearances as the nature of the deity, and the completion stage, where we meditate on the emptiness aspect of that. And so, generally, calm abiding and special insight are great, wonderful things that contain the essence of the path. However, here, we're talking about a calm abiding that isn't perfectly recognizing the ultimate nature of reality. And so this type of calm abiding is a kind of a deep trance sort of meditation where we become indifferent to things. And so in the 37 things that bodhisattvas do, the 37 bodhisattva practices, verse number 29 says, understanding through insight while resting calmly, our afflictions are brought to their entire defeat. To practice concentration that transcends in truth the four formless realms is what bodhisattvas do. So here in this verse, it's talking about the state of the gods abiding in these formless realms of concentration. So Longchenpa in these verses is talking about going beyond the calm abiding that is just like the calm abiding of the gods, not, that is true enlightened meditation.
Dorna nature chikwa maiba zarcha ta ko gore son da ring rigbi ngola ta du tene ko rigbi rango hi se ta rango hi ba hi wala zarcha ta mena rango hi marwa o tere ta ngani chena tunjum rum boche ki tanda lama jambu do tunjum rum boche kon rong
Lama Jambu?
lami jambu tunjum rum boche kon rong ze cha lami jambu kon ke lami jambu jin do ta ti no la sarwo hyun du ji ken nga cha te cha tol ta tanda chelo chan tong do tu ra ji te rana ni te ji ken sabo tang ka zarwo ya go hyun do te ji ken nga cha tu chun do ra so nan ta nan de ro kar zong do zarla nguzong me pas tokda rigdong chemba stokwa ta tarba rigwa tongba chemba
Rigpa Jempa?
ndiga tönji lamas ndikpo ndirang tongji tönji lamares ishi dorji ngoshis ta dunjono boji konra sen la tene ishi dorji ushugundo ate
Yeshi Dorji ki.
ishi dorji te konra sen wa dunjo
Right.
ishi dorji
Sikla.
ishi dorji
Uh-huh. Yeshi Dorji.
ishi dorji konra sen wa
Salam Muzume Tokdrau Rigpa Jempa Dika Dongi Lama. Yeshi Dorji.
ngoshis
Moshe.
Zala nguzong mebe tokda rigdong chemba Andaga tongji lama ishi dorji ngoshis konrikte dangji doa kono so pe pensi nyembo hale
So, in short, when we abide, the abiding aspect of our mind, we also need kind of a luminous knowing clarity. And so we can't just abide with our minds. We need to recognize the nature of our minds as we abide. So there needs to be this recognition. So just abiding alone isn't enough. And so in the, there's this teaching in Dujum Rinpoche, Dujum Yeshi Dorje, Jigdral Yeshi Dorje. He taught in that.
by himself, for himself.
So, so he wrote this for himself. So this kind of like.
I think other people request, and then he wrote for himself. Yeah.
So, kong rankidunga zebare.
Konrik rong zor, konrik rong la zor depte, lami jambu te, konrik rong ze yawa. Tani yorwa, lami nam tar tanda guru yoga, tanda gacheran boji konrik rong ze yawa ndoa.
Right. So he wrote this, calling the Lama from afar, crying out to the Lama, to how to cry out to him. And so in that, there's these profound instructions. And so in these instructions, it says, in the luminosity, this luminous clarity, there is nothing to recognize. Thus, free from nam tok dra,
Yeah.
free from thoughts in naked awareness, free from thoughts, naked awareness, this itself is the ultimate guru. Recognize the Vajra of primordial wisdom. So the Vajra of primordial wisdom is Yeshi Dorje, which is the name of Dujum Rinpoche. So
Himself.
he's saying, recognize the Vajra of primordial wisdom. So it's actually an instruction, but it's also an instruction based on his name. So it's kind
But
of
I'm not sure he's using that or he's just directly calling him. I recognize this is my guru. Yeshi Dorje.
So it's kind of, it's a little, is it just his name, or does it mean the Vajra of primordial wisdom? It's a little unclear. Both are kind of profound.
Which one's profound? We can debate.
I think it's whichever one helps sentient beings get to enlightenment, maybe that's the best.
No, treating your guru as it is, or treating your guru is some distant reality. It's profound. Which one is more profound? That's going here.
Oh yeah, no, seeing the ultimate nature of reality is the guru. Is more
No,
profound.
seeing your guru as it is more powerful, or seeing your guru as our ultimate nature is more powerful.
What difference is there?
It's
As
very
it is.
different.
What's the difference?
Seeing your guru as it is enough for you to treat as a guru, rather than you don't need to relate to your guru as some distant reality. It's big different.
But what if you already see your guru as the ultimate nature of reality?
Eyeglasses.
He doesn't want to wear eyeglasses.
Yeah.
Yep. So I think Khenpo Yeshi, the translator is kind of trying to maybe make a joke, but then Khenpo Yeshi is saying, seeing, does that make sense? I think, yeah, that was in English. So seeing the Dujum Rinpoche as the ultimate nature of reality, you don't need to.
No, don't go there.
Oh, okay.
It's just accept your guru as it is. Yeah, Yeshi Dorje. Joe. Yeah, the Tibetan Joe is my guru. It's better than Vajradhara. Okay, so we may find this beautiful prayer. If find, we can look at. If not, then it's fine. Okay, we have a tea break, and please come back. I need you more than ever, so we need to finish this text. And
How long of a break, Khenpo? 20 minutes, 30 minutes? What do you think?
yeah, we will come back 4 o'clock.
Come back at 4.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll be back at 4 o'clock.
Thank you. No one. No one. Did anyone try to find Guru Yoga Dunjums? No.
Did you get it?
I have a version
Okay. Can you read?
called the Lama from the Front.
Yeah.
So how far into it, because this one's 42 pages.
Oh, that's not. That may be Yangpo Contours. I saw here online someone's sharing.
That's calling the Guru.
Can you share it online? Can you go down? Yeah, go down.
Oh yeah. Oh. Oh yeah. It's on Lord Sour House.
Go until that guru we went through. Or don't know.
This is maybe. This is called for people here, if you want to look it up later. It's called this. It's on Lord Sour House, which is really cool place with a lot of translations. LordSourHouse.org. So probably if you just Google "Spontaneous Song of the Genuine Nature," a prayer of calling the Guru from afar by Dujum Rinpoche.
Can you scroll down? Can you find that
Mm-hmm.
that verse?
Uh,
I'm not sure. Is that
I'm looking something else up. Here.
Calling the Guru from
seems not that one.
So maybe Dika. Maybe not this one, or Tokdraw, Rikpa Jempa,
Riktongchimba.
Riktong, Tongbani.
Yeah. Seems not this one.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, maybe not.
So don't worry. We will figure out. That's why I need to memorize things. Yeah. According to. Maybe not. Okay. There you can look at his writings if you don't mind. But meanwhile, of course, we have a lot of things to cover, and now we know, at least there is ultimate reality, either we call primordial wisdom, or whatever we call Dharmakaya. And then we have our own nature of our mind, it's called Rigpa. And somehow these two need to unite. And what Milarepa says, do you know? Maybe don't search, it's not working. Milarepa, Lama Tang Rang Sem Sangye Som.
So Milarepa taught Chiktutopa Najula. So Milarepa taught and sang the Guru, our own mind, and the Buddha, these three, realizing them as one, being the same, is the superior yoga.
Just open on your lock. There's no superiority.
Or lap. Or
Yogi, not yoga.
not your lap. Okay.
I am the Milarepa yogi
Okay.
who understand or who realize my mind, my guru, and Buddha are inseparable. Yeah. These three are. If you don't like guru, then means we don't like our mind, and we don't like Buddha either. So be careful what you dislike things. It's happened because sometimes Buddhas are naughty. Yeah.
Yeah, because all beings, right? You get to see all beings as the guru.
Yes, that's next level.
One being is
Yeah.
respecting the
Yeah.
guru, respecting yourself and everybody else.
Yeah, and Milarepa say, Lama yidam khandro son tisum chi jamro yinsong. Lama yidam khan maris kongta. Sanji chudun gendu tisum chi lama yinsong. Na mari tisum chi jamne yinsong. Za tong long tong tikle son tisum nong ki jamne yinsong. Tong tong yong nong tong yirme son tisum tong chi jamne yinsong mare.
통당.
Tong tong yirme ba. Tong ma noa tong ba yirme ba.
낭당 동바 열매바.
Nong tong yirme ba. Tisum tong chi jamne yinsong.
둔기가. So 친앙둔. So Milarepa also sang the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. These are the outer sources of refuge. The channels are the channels, the subtle winds, and the essences. These are the inner sources of refuge. Appearances, emptiness, and their inseparability. This is the ultimate refuge.
Sana tong chi se la sa. Maybe too much now. Milarepa is coming. Tong na chenbi chu jun tong te jun chi mi bin tong lo yin song. Tong go na chenbi ki chu jun tong go res. Chenba ki chu ji jun. Kare san te jun chi mi bin tong lo yin song.
준치 메베
Tong lo yin.
정독베
Goms jabdu. Ju ma ji ba jab go res go re. Tangi shu yin ba. Lu bo te deng tol go res.
So Milarepa taught, when you drink, you should drink the water of mindfulness.
Chu jun, not just water. Stream.
You should drink the stream of mindfulness, and you should drink in a way without interruption.
No, that is the
Or the,
uninterrupted drink.
that is the uninterrupted, the drink that will not be interrupted.
Mhm.
And so the meaning here is that when we meditate, we should meditate without interruption. In that way, we attain stability in meditation.
도나 마춘 나르마르도 닝보 통치 도록 인성래. 대고요나 마살 대고요나 마춘 나르마르도 고그레스 조마 많이 바 나르마탈도 고그레스. 가르세나 티기 도록테 닝보 통치 도록 인성래.
So when you stay and when you sit, you should sit without any fabrication or without any contrivance and not doing various things. Because this is the way to stay. This is the essential way to stay. This is the way to stay of the essence.
So that's it's important what we do and how we sit. And now we are on do you have the text? We are on a page
101.
103.
101?
103. Huh? 101?
Maybe, yeah, maybe we read through.
I don't think we need to go through this. It's saying if you are not moving from or straying from this realm of non-duality, then everything dissolves. If you stray from that, then that's what we call samsara, and then there you can act as any way what you want. So it doesn't mean there's no consequence, but of course anything. Once we kind of get away from this uncontrived, unfabricated realm, then we are in a dream. When we are really in a deep dream, we don't have dream, then we are okay. But as soon as we start dreaming, then we need to react or engage even dream images. So that's kind of it's saying here. If you really meditative occupies in a deep meditation, they would not have any activities. Durna, ta gom yang ta wachane ring ola ta ne tene che tanda dome shi ne lo kingang ne deba ina tene le junde no ba chi to mare ko to mares. Ta te mai ne tene kachir te sengdo tene cha ne rangan do cha song ina. Tene tang korwa sa te yore tele legend sa te yore tene kasi chenye lenye ronye dungne sanye tene cha song ina tene mar ro sa tene yore song one walk ten ro song do.
So, here in this way, if we really can, meditate authentically, then we can overcome, all the different, types of displays that appear. Nothing, can, we can abide in a state beyond benefit or harm. And so in that way, we can actually go beyond cause and effect. However, karma, cause and effect, if we're doing our different activities, walking, sitting, sleeping, eating, so forth, if we're not abiding in this, state, then, we still have, karma. We can, this leads to ordinary reality.
Paragraph, last paragraph. Digging all the Junri Shazurmis, digging all the ne divine Junri Sat Yomaris. Junri meba mati, the Tawa Tatu meba, Gumba Gomda meba, Juba Jid meba lasso, but no Tagum Chu som said now. Ta Usa Tende Yomaris, or Yinayang, Tai Shen to Mang Leson, TJ Matanra. Rova not on also Gunchar with Junri Majanami Maju Jix on Dandana. Ting only, Tan Kurvi Kurvala Nene, tell a Jew Devana, tea cups at in a Jundio Maresene, Caduyon, a labgio mares, that Caduyon, Judio Mares.
So if we look at the last few lines on page 101, it says, within this context, there is no cause and effect, no concerted effort. View, for example, cannot be cultivated in meditation. Although the mode of cessation is described as having neither center nor limit, when dynamic energy itself deviates from this natural state, the myriad display arises as the multiplicity of the universe of appearances and possibilities. So never say categorically, there is no cause and effect. So, when we abide in this state, then we can go beyond cause and effect and so forth. However, it also, when we aren't abiding in this state, then there is the experience of samsara and so forth. And so we shouldn't just say there is no such thing as cause and effect.
So it's important to have good morals. That's that. Then we read. Yes.
So if you touch that state and then
Yeah. Wait.
Yeah, just because otherwise people online can't hear.
Yeah.
So if you touch the state when you're at that state and then you go out of it and you're familiarizing, and every time you abide more in that state, do every time you enter that state you're purifying like the mountain of karma that you have, or how does that work, that you finally at some point wake up? So ultimately, until you don't wake up, you're always asleep, right?
Yeah.
Until you fully wake up, but there's touch or glimpse of it. So how does that work?
Yeah. Usually, karma is a strange thing. It works very detailed, and somehow there is, of course, beginningless of time. Maybe we create good karma, but as well as bad karmas. If we need that much time to purify our karma, it would be, we never will become a Buddha. But you can see the example what they give. If there is a dark room or dark cave, never shine sun or light, and thousands of years darkness, soon as light up or lamp or some light comes in, no matter what, how long this darkness will suddenly disappear. Yeah, And that's used as soon as the realization dawns, all these obscurations and the karmic habitual patterns and so forth can burn. However, karma works neither cleverly, and there is layers of things that sometimes whether we call habitual tendencies or our habits or our whatever, we should be vigilante. If not, it's come back. And but that doesn't necessarily mean this that moment, maybe second or millisecond, we recognize our mind nature, Rigpa, or reality. That does not burn the karma. It is very powerful practice that usually our teacher told us that this is so powerful that how long we are in samsara, but up until now we didn't really have a chance to break that kind of line, kind of unbroken karmic line. We finally break it, whether it's a second millimeter or whatever it is. That just should become very powerful practice. And but if then we act as before, and then we do not keep the practice, then it's kind of fade away. So depend on. That's why earlier we talk about Milarepa. What did he say? If you don't want to drink mindfulness water, stream. That means you need to drink uninterruptedly. So means the mindfulness is very, very important. That's the core practice of Buddhist practice. If we don't have mindful, then our practice will be forgotten and also maybe become less important. In the Dzogchen, often used as a mindfulness as chaper. So always need to, our mind is scattered like heaps of thoughts that scatter, and you need to bring back. So it's important. But there's nothing is promised, but it's everything's helpful. Oh, yeah. Practice like that, yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's so the karma is there, yeah. Thinking karma is there is obstacle that we know. Many. Ignoring karma is another one. That may we end up in trouble. So our life is wonderful, and we can play with it, or we can live with it, or we can just, sometimes people cannot take care of well, and they do something else. So we don't really know. Yeah, and that's kind of story what we have. And then we can read chapter 10, this page and the next page. So page 103 and 104, 5, 12 together, okay? Tibetan. we do second paragraph, first Tibetan. Tendre jen jong de ye chong sam de kurwin chur non shi de an chong sam de te kun ju jen so be tendre ni. Si la shana na kang yong ma zho da lam de shi be shi to me yo tu kong yong me gong be tu nan. Shiton darai chi kong yong ku men ju ren nyong mo le dong wa cha long jen ten mi ju mi zhu zhen mo shi te le darai ku jin ri la do sarai te ye tam nen de lin jo xin mi te chir chu yin gong ba sam ma yu ji te ni ke ning tam san mo long gun yi gun mi de ba ji chu yin ren bo jin zo le gong ba chu le ma yu ba ra den be le de ju ba o.
So then, in English, starting with the word interdependence in the second paragraph on page 103. Interdependence ensures that conditioned composite phenomena are beyond enumeration and imagination, confused perception in samsara, and even states of peace and bliss are beyond enumeration and imagination. All of this constitutes the very process of interdependence, which is the coming together of causes and conditions. If you evaluate your fundamentally unconditioned nature, you find it has never existed as anything whatsoever. So too, in taking this as your path, you have no frame of reference whatsoever. For straying from that fundamentally unconditioned nature in all its immediacy, rather you appreciate it within the context of enlightened intent. Having reached the ultimate state in the immediacy of your fundamentally unconditioned nature, you are not sullied by anything at all. Afflictive emotions, karma, and habitual patterns have no support within this vast expanse, but are the playing out of magical games of illusion. You must be liberated from this, so please come to a decisive experience of causality. As a means of doing so, there is nothing superior to this approach. Therefore, it is crucial not to stray from the enlightened intent of the true nature of phenomena. This is the expanse of my profound and heartfelt advice. It is crucial to go beyond what everything is or is not, transcending is and is not. This is the 10th section of the Treasury of the basic space of phenomena, demonstrating that enlightened intent does not deviate from the true nature of phenomena.
Mm-hmm. See, it's getting clearer and clearer. Yeah, it's not like what in English, what they say. The more I study, the unknown list is getting longer and longer. Yeah.
The more I learn, the less I know.
No, the unknown list is getting longer and longer. So here it's clearer and clearer, yeah? Yes, and now, of course, when we talk about karma, karmic causality, then we need to talk about interdependent and so forth. So these are somehow that tanging there when you want to say it, xian la tu go ba chi xie ge yor ba te yin du xian la tu go ya xie du rang ki ngo me ba ten go res te me ba yin du te ne ta ju jian ten de ji wang ke kan da kan na nong chou ya dan ka ka ram da yong chou ya ti gi yong ge re song ten de
Dendo Kenjun
tendir jian jung se, tendir ji jian li chung wei gen du yi se de, chang sam lin de bare song, chang go na, zhang ya me ba, zam go na zam ba ti yor lin de bare song ro. Page 102.
going up.
That's your Tibetans, this side. You don't have
Oh, yeah.
number?
Yeah, I have, sorry. I need,
Yeah, really.
uh-huh.
Ta tenjing zhe wan jung wei, opo kang tang kang na ta ta tam chi. Ten zhe ri se du, ju ta jian ten go go res, rwa. Rang gi ngo mi pa ten go rwa, rang gi ngo se du yo ma res. Ta te me wa ina, rang gi ngo mi me wa ina, tene xian la ten chi ni ji yong cho ge na, tene kan ra ma do chong yong si ge rwa. Ten yin du, ta sambi gi yor dang, zhang go na zhang wei gi chang lin de ba te, nga tso ki te changha jab ya da tenri samno korea ke da tenri sambi yulun deva resa.
So essentially here it says, we're back on page 103. It says, interdependence ensures that conditioned composite phenomena are beyond enumeration and imagination. Confused perception in samsara and even states of peace and bliss are beyond enumeration and imagination. And so here, if we do not recognize the ultimate nature of things, then we, if we don't, recognize how things truly are, then through interdependence, then all the infinite phenomena of, samsara and the state of peace, these all can all appear in ways that, define or beyond comprehension, that go beyond the numbers of the mind.
Tene, ta tsor ka nong to lo che ne, tene hi la xiar na song, ta hi se na rang xin ne luk te la, jik ta, xial se na ta ta wam, tong ba te la ko go rwa. Tene kang yung chod biyo ma res. Ta kang yung ma chod ba ta lam tu hi ne, hi ji to tene, yo am te le, chirur tu chi ma song na, am, 다 마침비 뒤티 ene tanda 강양 매매 공비트나 쯔송다 쯔세야 돼. 대 직보더니 tanda 공모마티 샤샤요레 송리. 쯔세도 포케라 맞아. 데츠그레 세든데 니콩스 샤그레세요 된다로. 단디 공기 공수 샤그레세 gong se and gom se de gap ga tön da ji wa le gun do tene ta gong se de inji ge realization jo na nji ga ro tan do na de ge tene gom ge ta got shu yo re se go.
So then it continues, so it says in the last part of that, all of this constitutes the very process of interdependence, which is the coming together of causes and conditions. And so then further it says, if you evaluate your fundamentally unconditioned nature, you find it has never existed as anything whatsoever. So too, in taking this as your path, you have no frame of reference whatsoever for straying from that fundamentally unconditioned nature in all its immediacy. Rather, you appreciate it within the context of enlightened intent. So, but essentially here, when we meditate and recognize that, there is, our true nature is never been, established as anything, and we take that as our, path, then we don't stray. When we do not stray from that, then there is nothing that is conceptualized, and thus we kind of reach this higher realization.
Tene nyomo le dong pa cha lang chen de temi jume zhe zhe mo xie song. Da de da ge nyomo ba ji zhi xie tong la so ba. De da ge den me ba jume ge zhe zhe mo xie ba nang xin ta ndo na me ba sa nang seng a zo po ge la. Me ba sa nang se yo ro. Te da re song re. Te yin du da tene meba tele tar go tele dige korwasayate ko jumetse monongi tele tar ne junre la do char son tele tar ne ani junre le dewa ji yingo kores ngoni ki tanda gomjabe atrawa.
So then, following then to the next section, afflictive emotions, karma, and habitual patterns have no support within this vast expanse, but are the playing out of magical games of illusion. We could also say, within the vast expanse of afflictive emotions, karma, and patterns, there is nothing but the display of supportless, just baseless illusion. And so, to become liberated, since we should, to become liberated from that, then we need to kind of go beyond the relative concepts of cause and effect.
Te indu ta ndona gom tamchi te nomba sanji begi nyamlen chi sayate ndriu tobya ndriu sayate hiwa nyangelin devas sengdo adene donga tamchi dan trawa juminchi bi hiwa te tobya ge chi do tene bezen chi ne tan dona lobjong che gena re gom jabu gena re tene kanda joba kanda kan che gena chuchok joba kanda kan che gena ta tam chi gopa da mi yul dane che gores dati gopa mi yu ta tige tunda ngoma te karesna yundelin de bi gom zodoblin de bi gom tene tanto na ninjin da trabe gomji 잡고 거래 보고 거래 아니 대에 탐는 들린 조심이 송도 다 텐데 탑 몸보 요비 나네 탐 들린 조도 줄와 니 현요 말이스 단 되게 저거 전부게 축축게 따위게 거니 곰잡이야 텔리 사가지 하여튼 되네요 말이스.
So essentially, we want to strive to be liberated from, all the sufferings of all, and so forth, and, to reach enlightenment. We have all these different stages of practices, all these different things that we can study. We can progress along the lines of, the different aspects of the path and so forth. But at a certain point, to really gain the realization of the true nature of reality, we have to go beyond cause and effect. We have to look to a place that is deeper than that goes beyond just making effort and trying to accomplish something. Because we need to go beyond dualistic grasping itself. And so as long as we are, striving towards something, then we are still grasping in a way. And so it is said that ultimately this supreme method to, go beyond, relative cause and effect and gain this ultimate realization is the Dzogchen, the great perfection practice of Trekshu, cutting through.
Teacher chuni gomba mayu ji zong jumchen teacher na tene tanda chuni ji gomba se na tanda chuni gi tokbi gi nilu tele mayu pa ji go yoris ji se na te tene tenda chembore so ta te indu de longchen ram jam konrek ning tam samo yin song.
So then, here it says in the English here, therefore it is crucial not to stray from the enlightened intent of the true nature of phenomena. So we could also say, this method, therefore, we should cherish not straying from this realization of the nature of reality as it truly is. And so Longchenpa is saying this is the profound expanse of my own, heart advice, or the expanse of my own profound heart advice.
Tandorna Gun mi yimin deba jie zong da the yinji la. It is crucial to go beyond what everything is or is not. Transcending is and is not. So here it's just beyond and transcending. So as soon as we say this is or this is not, then we are deciding something. And what is our Shakespeare would say?
To be or not to be.
Exactly.
That also comes in the Dhammapada, no?
That is.
It says the mind is the desire is the destroyer, desire is the creator.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing. You desire to become a Buddha, that's the enlightened intent. But at a certain point, you said that we have to drop that desire and just be
Yeah.
the nature of things.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Definitely. And so these two, to be or not to be, is
That's the question.
That's the question. Yeah. So we need to go beyond that. And we can also say to be and not to be. That is not the question, too. Yeah.
Don't think about that.
Yeah. So beyond that part. And here we have a little bit time left. Maybe we can start chapter 11 tomorrow. Since there's some questions.
Yeah, Khenpo, there's a couple of questions. Pull it up for you.
Yes.
So the first one's from Julian, and they're asking, what is the meaning of the Tibetan term Rigtong Genpe? R-I-K-T-O-N-G, Rigtong, and then Genpe, J-E-N-P-E.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Well, the translator, I think when Khenpo said it first, I kind of didn't catch all of it. So I think Rigtong Jempa, is naked awareness and emptiness. It's not, I thought it was just naked awareness, but it's,
Or you could read empty naked awareness as well, yeah. Rikdong. Rikdong.
Right.
Rikpa
or, yeah, empty awareness,
Mm-hmm.
naked empty awareness.
Yeah.
But it's, yeah.
So naked is taking the mind away, just dropping the mind. That's naked.
That's good. I like that.
Okay.
Yeah, really.
And the next question from Emilio, and thanks,
So
James.
Jianbai is also
okay.
People, of course, like to translate naked, but also Tibetan means raw.
Raw.
Yeah, raw Rigpa is sometimes better. It doesn't cook, doesn't season, doesn't do anything. It's just pure. It's not just naked, but it's
Well, it kind of means, it has this connotation of like undressed, fresh, raw.
yeah.
Yeah,
Jianba, xia Jianba means
yeah. So there's a phrase for raw meat.
mm-hmm.
So like unsullied, uncooked
Mm,
raw
yeah.
meat.
Exactly. Raw vegetable, and so forth. So it's both.
Good, thank you.
More?
Yeah, there's one more question. From Emilio, if you realize that all appearances are created by the energy of your awareness, does that mean you will no longer be fooled by them?
That is, seems a little bit there's few steps of concept here. I think once we really realize these appearances are nothing, then it cannot really created or caused by, or there would not have any process here. So it's a little bit difficult. We can say that, but it's we realize all phenomena are created by Rigpa. That's this narrative what we tell, but it's a reality. In order to understand that, we need to understand there is no appearance, and then if there is no appearance, there would not have any process or narrative that. But I'm just pointing out that we can think another way. I'm not saying we should not think it that way, but there is another way of thinking.
Good, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Anything from our group, Rome here?
I don't know, just with that analogy you said about the light. I can speak really loud.
No, it still doesn't work.
Yeah, Zoom doesn't. Yeah.
So with that analogy that you mentioned before about the light, as you kept explaining, what came to my mind is you have the cave and you're meditating and you basically are chiseling it, a little hole first. So at the beginning, yeah, you made a little hole
Mm-hmm.
and you see a little light
Yeah.
going into the cave, but it doesn't illuminate the whole cave. But as you keep chiseling it, then you can make the hole bigger, or you could also cover it with dirt and mud and all this stuff and cover the light again. So it's up to you whether you keep chiseling until you completely drop the mind or whatever it is that, like the Buddha was despair, right? Like he became utterly hopeless, and ultimately like he wanted to become enlightened so bad for so long, and he practiced so hard, and ultimately he's like, none of this matters. That was his dark night of the soul, and then through that he was able to drop his mind and just be, right? Kind of like that. That
Yes.
just came to my mind. I just wanted
Definitely.
to share.
And yeah, Of course.
sense.
And in order to, there is many ways to light up the dark cave here. So one of us. Yeah. Less chisel, yeah. 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 Yes.
A little off subject, but if you could break down or summarize everything that Tulku Organ ever taught you into like 2 or 3 sentences.
Yeah. Try to look at your back of your head. If this cannot stop your thinking, then maybe something going on. So, yeah. It's, of course, be confident. Buddha's inside. And of course, you're going to translate something, or should I say something, or no? No. Okay.
Whatever.
Okay, we meditate then a little bit. Usually, people busy to do something, but. Maybe not the empty ball. That is not. No. But that's okay. We just sit. And when I grow up, we never do these things. But these are new things. So open your eye. Yeah. Open your mouth a little bit. Hand, maybe this is more natural. You can see long tempers. Not the Hindu way of meditation, doing like this or that or those, not necessary. Just everything's sort of relaxed and natural,
Do we breathe through the mouth or the nose? Does it matter?
Both, natural. Do you still remember? Need to look here. Here. Repetition is the key. If you still think I'm not seeing, then you may need some purification of karma, which is called mondo, and maybe I can remind again here. page 85. I say again and again, this is the important part. The top of page 85. This is an important part. And I'm not sure you are ready for this English or not, but should we just read English? Okay.
How many verses?
Just read one page,
Okay.
85.
So the top of page 85, given awareness which is not cultivated in meditation and in which nothing is discarded or adopted, if you meditate again and again, you will see that there is nothing to cultivate in meditation. Nothing to cultivate in meditation. This is the meditation of omnipresent awareness. Given the way of abiding, non-dual and free of acceptance and rejection, if you engage in conduct again and again, you will see that there is no conduct to enact. No conduct to enact. This is the conduct of omnipresent awareness. Given spontaneous presence, timelessly ensured and free of hope and fear, if you strive to achieve again and again, you will see that there is nothing to achieve. Nothing to achieve. This is the fruition of omnipresent awareness. Within this state of equalness, there are no thoughts about sense objects and no reification of ordinary mind. So the occurrence of and involvement in hope and fear are pacified. Abiding in the equalness of sense objects and mind means that, as a matter of course, there is no straying from the expanse that is the true nature of phenomena. One abides in an omnipresent state in which what are characterized as sense objects do not exist as objects. Since there is omnipresent awareness, timeless and non-dual, within the state of great perfection, the indivisibility of samsara and nirvana, everything is in a state of infinite evenness, without acceptance or rejection.
Mm-hmm. If you want to meditate sometime, maybe not more than some time, all the time, and you can read a few verses and then sit down and first kind of contemplate on that, and then just try to be as natural as possible. So if drawing your two eyeballs to trying to look at your back of your head, it's automatically become natural. You don't really need to change things.
Does it help if you do like maybe exercise before or relax your muscles or something so your body's very pliable, just very comfortable in your body?
No, I don't think so. Yeah, doesn't matter. This doesn't require anything.
Just do it.
Just do it. Don't do it while you are driving. Should we just sit, or then what do you think? Is it working?
Yeah. You gotta do it with us though.
What?
You gotta do it with us so you transmit the tuning fork.
That's an interesting concept.
You know resonance, right?
What?
Tuning forks. You hit a tuning fork,
Mm-hmm.
and if there's chords near it, they'll have the same resonance. They'll have vibrate at the same frequency.
Mm-hmm.
So a higher frequency can wake up.
Oh,
lower frequency.
don't go there. We are talking about natural. You are try to talk something
Experience.
that not even last in the samsara that long, I guess. Yeah. That's a nice ring salt we got. Just but today I didn't really talk much about it, but of course, if you are really serious and worth to pursuing enlightenment, enlightenment is not a sort of empty space or a dead entity, but it's what's infused with love and compassion. So knowing is not good enough. So much more than that. And of course, if you think pursuing outer teacher is necessary, then also trust and traditionally we call devotion. That's very important. These are components, and maybe that's why it's kind of a warmness that you are not really cut off or chase off or shoot out of space. So you are still in a light and soup that still kind of stirring inside. So that may be good things to do. And whenever you meditate, you should not forget compassion and faith. As soon as you meditate, you should think there's higher beings and there's lower beings. Lower doesn't mean you are discriminating and you're abandoning them, but you need to compassionately embrace. And higher beings, there's always, even human beings, there's someone know more than someone. So we not rely on other is not bad thing. So people sometimes say, when I born myself. When I die alone. So why I care about it? Yeah, but without much connection, it's loneliness is another thing, doesn't really help that much. So keep those in mind. So that's our important things. Yeah. And beyond that, I will not keep you today here. And tomorrow, of course, if you have time, we still do kind of combination of meditation and reading and discussion. So that's today's teaching. So maybe I say something in the Tibetan that I don't know what should I say, but yes.
Vivian was saying yesterday, or I don't remember in the class, that Garchin requested if we can do the dedication of Shantideva. He says you're talking about having the love and compassion, like.
Yeah, but we decide on Sunday.
Yeah, we'll do it Sunday. Yeah.
On Sunday.
So Isaac was asking, so people online, Isaac was asking if we're going to be reciting the dedication prayer from Bodhicharya Vatara, and we'll be doing that Sunday evening.
Right. Durna ta gomjabi kabina le chuk karchina. Tene toni jingji ningbo jianji shangsan yu le jiaran zou jiksong yang gongzhok lama jiangbu nong duwa. Ta yu le ngoma te karjie ko warisina tongba ni tokwe ki tawa tarang 닝게 미과 maybe 닝게 테니데 다 송든 저와지 줄이 제거 테 제와 해발라 저 마드는 저거 양식 말와 테인도 저 당보 성월을 따위 내 감네 송데 테네 닝게 다 야마라 가지고 다 대용 지 롱게 릉원 추 레전드 카코 텔레 로또 세야테서 소마 테네 톰바탄 템바 림보첼 테네 중앙인도 테네 롱게 자빌라마 세야테 케체모레 테인도 텔라 테바타 모우체야테 케체모레 테인도 다 텐데 요나 테바다 모구유 향다 닝제유 돈이게 따와요나 테네 카이나 다 추세 요나 로비앙지레스 테메나 테네 로비아이지 말레스
아니 the tambo the songken.
잠공 컨트롤 라마 정부요
어허.
디난 아탐도
어허.
동니 닝제 닝보 젠제 향산 줄라 제와란 조제스
어허.
호텔은 방만다 같은데
어허.
라마 정부 동지나 라마 정부 tanda Lincoln you show there's longer lama jambu
It's a Jamgon controls.
yeah I think that's jambu seems like yeah so in there we have these lines that talks about this emptiness and compassion.
So in short, Khenpo says that when it comes to meditation, then there is this quote, kind of the essential meaning comes from Jamgon Kongtrul's calling the Lama from afar. And basically the emptiness has the essence of compassion. Within the essence of emptiness, there is compassion. And so thus we should, with this, we give rise to bodhicitta. And so, and in this way, we should, meditate. When we meditate on emptiness, these deep things, we should unite that with non-conceptual, non-referential compassion. And so it is said that unless we plant the seed, unless there's the cause, we will not get, the fruition, the result that we are looking for. And so we need to plant the seed of, having compassion and the enlightened mind of bodhicitta to gain the result of enlightenment. And so even though we have all these teachings that talk about going beyond the concepts, the relative concepts of karma, cause and effect and so forth, relatively, when it comes to our practice, we should, practice virtue and develop, love and compassion. And in particular, if we have the opportunity to have a root teacher, a root guru with realization and so forth, we can cultivate faith and devotion to them, to merge our minds with their minds and so forth. And if we do that, then we, that can help us gain, this deeper levels of realization. If we really don't, rely on a teacher though, in this way and try to do this on our own, then it probably won't work.
Okay. Dedication.
Page 24. Page 24 in the prayer book. By the virtues collected into 3 times by myself and all beings in samsara and nirvana, and by the innate root of virtue, may I and all beings quickly attain unsurpassed, perfect, complete, precious enlightenment. May the teachings of the great Trigompa Ratnashri, who was omniscient, Lord of the Dharma, Master of interdependence, continue and increase through study, practice, contemplation, and meditation until the end of samsara.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Khenpo La, and thank you, Eric, and everybody for coming to. So tonight we are going to do a protector practice here, Achi, Choki Droma practice, from 7 to 8. So feel free to join us, and we'll start again tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. So have a great night and happy 4th of July.
What? Okay.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
So I have it to going this way.
Okay, Khenpo La, sing me, Jam.
Oh.
Oh,